A little-known episode from the fighting during the Warsaw uprising in August and September of 1944 involved the operations carried out by two prototypes of the Sturmtiger heavy assault gun. The Sturmtiger or Assault Tiger was a World War II German assault gun built on the Tiger tank chassis and armed with a 380mm rocket-propelled mortar. The idea for a heavy infantry support vehicle capable of demolishing heavily defended buildings or fortified areas with a single shot came out of the experiences of the heavy urban fighting in the Battle of Stalingrad in 1942. In the last phase of the war, the German army still saw a need for a heavily armored and armed vehicle. Therefore, a decision was made to create a new vehicle based on the Tiger tank and arm it with a howitzer. However, this weapon turned out not to be available at the time and was therefore replaced by a 380mm rocket launcher, which was adapted from a Navy depth charge launcher. In September 1943, plans were made for Krupp to fabricate new armored hulls for the Sturmtiger. The first prototype was ready and presented to Adolf Hitler in October 1943. Delivery of the first hulls would occur in December 1943, with the first three Sturmtiger completed by Alkit by February of 1944. Due to delays, Hitler did not request production of the weapon until April of 1944. 12 superstructures and weapons would be prepared and mounted on rebuilt Tiger chassis. The first three production series Sturmtiger were completed in August of 1944. Hitler had laid great importance on the special employment of the Sturmtiger and believed it would be necessary to produce at least 300 rounds of ammunition per month. The main armament was the 380mm breech-loading barrel, which fired a short-range, rocket-propelled projectile roughly 1.5 m long. There were a variety of round types with a weight of up to 376 kilograms, and a maximum range of up to 6,000 meters, which either contained a high explosive charge or a shaped charge for use against fortifications, which could penetrate up to 2.5 meters of reinforced concrete. The stated range of the former was 5,650 meters. The Sturmtiger was intended to serve as a heavy infantry support vehicle, rendering assistance with attacks on heavily fortified or built-up areas. By the time the first Sturmtiger were available, however, Germany had lost the initiative, with the German army being almost exclusively on the defensive rather than the offensive. 3 new armored assault mortar companies were raised to operate the Sturmtiger. These originally were supposed to be equipped with 14 vehicles, but this figure was later reduced to 4 each, divided into 2 platoons. The first company was raised on the 13th of August, 1944 and fought during the Warsaw uprising with 2 vehicles, which may have been the only time the Sturmtiger was used in its intended role. The Warsaw uprising was a major World War II operation by the Polish underground resistance to liberate Warsaw from German occupation. It occurred in the summer of 1944, and it was led by the Polish Resistance Home Army. The uprising was timed to coincide with the retreat of the German forces from Poland ahead of the Soviet advance. While approaching the eastern suburbs of the city, the Red Army halted combat operations, enabling the Germans to regroup and defeat the Polish resistance and to destroy the city in retaliation. The uprising was fought for 63 days with little outside support. It was the single largest military effort taken by any European resistance movement during World War II. The uprising began on the 1st of August, 1944. The main Polish objectives were to drive the Germans out of Warsaw while helping the Allies defeat Germany. The first Sturmtiger was sent to Warsaw and offloaded on the 15th of August, 1944. A second such vehicle was offloaded on August 18th. There were no Sturmtigers deployed along the first combat line, where these heavy vehicles weighing 65 tons risked falling into bomb craters, and moreover, where the use of their strongpoints, or positive characteristics, was not suited to a destroyed city, with various areas often isolated by barricades. It's difficult to establish which targets they fired on because the heavy 380mm projectiles explosions have more than once been ascribed to bomb explosions resulting from railway gun shelling or to rocket projectiles of a different type. At that time, the Sturmtiger was an entirely unknown entity, and the vehicles that were captured in 1945 came as a complete surprise to the Allied troops. At the end of August, a Sturmtiger, firing from the ghetto area, pounded areas in the Old Town until the middle of September. General von Vormann, commander of the 9th Army, made a memorably worded, harsh assessment of the Sturmtiger and its battle-fighting capabilities. He wrote that the assault guns have only factory personnel who simply can't shoot. After this battle, the Sturmtigers were used in the defense of Germany, mainly on the Western Front. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and to make sure you don't miss my future work, please make sure you are subscribed to my channel and press the bell notification button. Thank you and see you in the next video.